Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gravity Shed. So today we're going to pick up the story from the Gouter refuge all the way over the Boss's Ridge up to Mont Blanc. Scran is served at the Gouter refuge at 2:30 in the morning, so it's a really early start. The guides like to try and get out as early as possible, so it's a good idea to follow them, and you'll just see head torches glimmering in the distance as you set off in a pitch black. It's pretty chilly this morning as well, like the ambient temperature's round about -5, but as you start getting higher with the wind chill, it gets down to something like -20.
One group ahead of us, can't see them now, but looks like we're coming up. Climb the first of the Boss's Ridges.
The Boss's Ridge is split down into the Grand Boss and Petit Boss. They're basically like two massive camel humps on the top of the hill. So you pass the Dôme de Gouter, up some more steep stuff before you hit this section. A really good way to traverse this kind of steep alpine terrain is to have one walking pole and one sort of non-technical walking axe. You're going to have the walking pole on the downward slope of yourself to steady, and then you're going to have the ice axe on the upward slope, using it in a plunging method, or in this case in like a picking method, because it was very icy up here. Leashes and hand loops on your walking pole and your axe can be quite unhelpful. You'll find a lot of zigzagging, and every time you turn a corner you're going to want to switch your hand, so you have the walking pole always on that lower slope.
That is deep as hell. Big crevasse here. Crevasse, yeah. That could be a big cornice there. So try and take a big wide berth around it.
You must always be aware of the crevasses, and keeping rope tension is quite important, but you don't want to be pulling the people behind you off their feet. And on the same note, you don't want meters and meters and meters of slack, because if someone goes down a crevasse, it's just going to shock load the system and pull you all in there. You need to be ready with the ice axe to jab it in a sort of ice axe arrest position, and then start a crevasse rescue should someone go down into one of them.
Yeah, I'll give you a bit of tension on the rope.
Crevasse rescue is one of those things that you really don't want to be learning up here in the Alps. You want to be learning back home before you come out, and don't even be trying to do it on the cheap with prussics and stuff like that. You want to get yourself a micro traction or a nano traction, a tib lock, a pulley, decent sling, and something to build an anchor with, such as ice axes, which are T-rated, and ice screws. So me, Rondell and Breckle are just having a bit of a rest now. As the sun's come out, so is the clag, and we've got kind of whiteout conditions, but you know what, it's still great. We just push forward up these steep, icy slopes, heading towards the final ridge, which takes you to the peak.
That looks steep, fucking deep.
This is probably a good time to talk about AMS, or acute mountain sickness. It's going to affect everyone in different ways, and it's also going to affect you in different ways depending on the amount of training you've done at altitude. Everyone on our expedition this year suffered from it in some way or another. Now, nobody slept for a single minute down at the Gouter hut due to things like headaches and even just like mind racing due to the altitude sickness. Some people just felt really dehydrated, other people got the really bad headaches. Unfortunately myself, I actually threw up on the way back down, which meant the altitude sickness hit me pretty hard. Even though, as you can hear on the top, I felt as right as rain.
It's looking about right, isn't it? Yeah! That's a proper mountaineering now. Proper mountaineering, boys. Yeah. That's going off to go to 12 months down there, doesn't it? Yes, lads. Good effort. Feeling a bit dehydrated, mate. Hey, mate, come here. Well done, dude. Well done, man. That's awesome. Just keep around the ropes a sec, just so we don't stand up. I feel good now, but I struggled through the Boss's Ridge. I started to struggle there, then I felt good after, but fuck me. Yeah. Oh.
As you can see, in 2018 the peak looked like a very different place. Even the shape of it, it's much more ridge-like now because they've had a lot less snow. The views are still spectacular on the way back down though, still amazing.
So how long does it took us then? From the Gouter?
It was 3 hours and 40.
Nice.
The guides say anything between 5 and 7 hours, so we were pretty rapid there, like.
Breathtaking.
Just coming up there to another massive crevasse. We're going to give it a nice wide berth. I've got the crevasse rescue kit at the back just in case. As I've said, we were pretty rapid getting up there, so we left the Gouter Refuge as probably the 5th or 6th group, but we got up there as one of the first groups. So on the way back down, we passed a lot of people. And always remember your etiquette in the Alpine environment. If you're climbing, you have right of way. So if someone's coming up, just let them pass, don't be a jerk. There's a good example there from Breckle and Rondell of having your ice axe in the upper slope hand and your walking pole in the lower slope hand. Just gives you lots of stability as you're traversing down this steep terrain. As always, safety is of the utmost importance, okay, but guides can be very expensive. Biggest piece of advice I'd give to anyone getting into the Alpine scene is the first day you land on, go to the Bureau de Guide, either in Chamonix. We went to one in Zermatt as well before we tried the Matterhorn. They'll give you all the information about the upcoming weather, about what's in season, what's out of season, about everything that's been going on. They have constant contact with all the guides up on the mountain. Above all, right, you need the right attitude, and you need to remember that the mountain will always be there. If it starts getting dodgy, you need to just turn back. You need to keep yourself safe at all costs. Look forward to seeing you at the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Like, share, subscribe and all that gubbins. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'd appreciate any comments, advice and feedback you've got. Thank you very much from the Gravity Shed.